everyone. Okay, so what we're going to be making today is a delicious cookie. We're going to be making maraschino cherry chocolate chip cookies. So what we're going to need is 2 sticks of room temperature or softened butter, 2 eggs at room temperature. We're going to need some salt, some maraschino cherries that we're going to be using 1 cup, but we're going to be draining them. Make sure they're drained really well, and then we're going to be cutting them in. We're going to need some flour, vanilla extract, almond extract, cornstarch, some semi-sweet chocolate chips. If you wanted to use milk chocolate chips, you definitely can. We're going to be using some baking soda, some brown sugar, some white sugar or granulated sugar, and some flour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear off the stove. I'm going to get all of our measurements ready. I have 2 bowls over here. Got those ready. And once I have all of the ingredients measured out, I will be back to show you what we do next. Okay, so what I have in this bowl here is 2 sticks of softened or room temperature butter. Back here I have 3 cups of all-purpose flour, and just make sure you do not pack this. I have 3/4 cup of white or granulated sugar. I have 1 cup of packed brown sugar. Back here I have 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. I have 2 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips. Now, as you can see, I did run out of the usual size chocolate chips, so I'm using the other bag that I had, which are the tiny ones, but it is 2 cups. Now, you don't have to use the small and the bigger ones. If you have just one size, that's perfectly fine. I have 1 cup of maraschino cherries. What I'm gonna do after I record this clip is I'm gonna go ahead and put them in a strainer and just make sure that they are completely drained. And then I'll go ahead and cut them in half and then cut those halves in halves again. But I'll show you what they look like once I get to that step. I have 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. In here it's hard to see, but it's 1 teaspoon of almond extract. And then in this bowl here, I have my 2 eggs, which I have already beaten. So what we're gonna do first is, I have my flour back here, so we're gonna add the dry ingredients. So we're gonna add salt. We're gonna add the baking soda. And we're gonna add the cornstarch. And what we're gonna do is you're gonna just whisk that together, make sure everything is incorporated. I'll do it a little bit more after I record this clip for you guys, but definitely make sure you mix the dry ingredients well. In here with our butter, we're gonna go ahead and add our white sugar. And we're gonna add our packed brown sugar. Oh, there we go, packed brown sugar. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna use my mixer, and you're just going to mix this until it's light and fluffy. Once I get to that step, I will be back. And if you don't have a mixer, you can do this by hand, especially if your butter is softened. You're just gonna mix it until the butter is light and fluffy. But once I get to that step, I'll be back. And in the meantime, we're just gonna leave our eggs, our extracts, the chips, we're just gonna leave those be, but I'll be back once we're ready for the next step. Okay, I got our butter and brown sugar mixture creamed together, nice and light and fluffy. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna add your egg, and I always just beat mine together, but you're gonna go ahead and just add your egg, and then you're gonna mix that together. You don't wanna over mix. I'm just gonna go ahead and mix it with the mixer just until it's all mixed together. Once it's all mixed together, go ahead and add your 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract and your 1 teaspoon of almond extract. Mix that together, and then once we do that, I'll be back. Okay, I got both of our extracts in there and our egg all mixed together. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and just slowly add in my dry ingredients and mix it together. I'm not gonna use the mixer, I'm just gonna do it by hand. Once I get all of the flour mixed in, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our chocolate chips. You're gonna fold those into your batter, and then at the very end, we're gonna go ahead and add our maraschino cherries. Once I get all of the flour mixed in, I'll show you what it looks like. just so you can get an idea. So I will be back. Okay, this is what our dough is looking like, and the flour along the edges is fine. I'll get it once I fold in the chocolate chips. So go ahead and add your chocolate chips. Go ahead and fold those in together, and then once they're folded in, go ahead and add your cherries. And like I said, I just cut them in half and then cut those halves in halves, although that one's a little bit big. It doesn't have to be perfect, but go ahead and mix your chocolate chips in and then fold in your cherries. Just be careful so they don't break. And then once that's all mixed together, I'll be back to show you what it looks like. Okay, this is what it's looking like. So now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna put saran wrap over this, and we're gonna refrigerate the dough for 30 minutes to an hour before we start baking. So once that time is up, I'll be back. Okay, I let my dough chill, and Sebastian is saying hi. So what I did was I went ahead and used my scoop here. Now I did kind of big heaping spoonfuls, and I put parchment paper on my baking sheet and then did heaping spoonfuls of the dough. I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and put these in the oven, and they're gonna bake anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. I will let you know how long I bake mine, but ovens vary, so what time frame I may use with my oven may be different from the time frame you use for yours. So once I pull these out of the oven, I will be back to show you what they look like, and I'll let you know how long I baked them for. Okay, I just pulled my first batch out. They smell amazing. I might go a little bit smaller. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and place them on a cooling rack. I did bake them for 13 minutes, but yeah, I'm gonna go a little bit smaller because these two here pretty much touch. So, but yeah, Sebastian is back. Once I get them all finished, I will let you know how many cookies it made, but it will depend on how big and how small you make them. But once I'm all done, we will give them a taste. I just wanted to show you all, so this is my second batch, and I did make them just a little bit smaller. I did still bake them for 13 minutes, and what I do is I just leave them sit for like a minute or two, and then I'll go ahead and transfer them over to my baking rack. And as you can see, I ate 2 already. They are so good. But yeah, I'm gonna just continue this, and then once they are completely done, we will be back and I will give them a taste for you all. Okay, our maraschino cherry chocolate chip cookies are done. So let's go ahead and give them a taste. Well, I should say give a taste for you because I already had a couple. It did make a total of 52 cookies. It will depend on how big or small you make the cookies. But yeah, let's go ahead and give them a taste. And you can store these either in an airtight container, or if you wanted to store them in the refrigerator, you definitely can do that. You can even store them in the freezer if you wanted, but then you would have to thaw them out. But I did cook them for 13 minutes. Let's give them a taste for you all. They're so good. It's like a light crunch on the outside and nice and moist and chewy on the inside. Amazing. You guys have to try this recipe. Amazing. I hope y'all enjoy this video, and if you make these, please let me know how you like them. I hope you have a great day and a great rest of your week, and I will see you on the next one. Bye, everyone.